What's going on, everybody? How we doing? It's a late night here, isn't it? Damn, we are late. That's one thing I can say about the AEW shows is they always seem to go really late. Tonight was about 4.5 hours. I mentioned it on my Twitter here that I kind of think that sometimes they go a little bit too long. Um, and the reason why, of course, is I think they could have left some of the matches off. Matches that like the let's see who was it, the gangbang versus the whatever versus the death triangle match. Maybe it could have been left off if you want to have that trios title match. I understand, but for sure, OC versus Trent probably could have been left off. Probably could have been done Dynamite or something. But regardless, though, 4.5 hours. It's late, but it's okay though. AW usually delivers a pretty damn good pay per view. For the most part, anyways. I've always never had a problem with the pay-per-views. I thought they're always really well. Tonight was the 5-year anniversary of Double or Nothing, the kind of show that started it all as well too. Pretty solid show tonight. I thought everything from the top from bottom, or from bottom to top to bottom, whatever, was actually pretty good. I don't want to go over everything here because like step by step. I don't want to go over every single move, every single sequence, blah blah blah, because that's not what I'm here to do. I just want to kind of go over the match, who won, any spots that was done during it, and kind of discuss that. I don't want to be on for too long here. Obviously, like I mentioned, it's 11:30 p.m. Central Time. So let's go ahead and let's kick it off. And I'm not going to talk about the buy-in, but I want to talk a little bit about Will Ospreay against Roddy Strong. That kind of opened up the show here. It was for the International Championship. I thought the match was really good. I'm a huge fan of Will Ospreay to begin with. I think he's a fantastic wrestler. Sometimes things he says on Twitter can be a little controversial, but it's okay. That's just Will Ospreay. Roderick Strong, of course, I've always been a huge fan of. I think he's an absolute fantastic athlete, wrestler. I've loved him ever since his Ring of Honor days. I've seen him wrestle a couple times live. Of course, his stuff at NXT was really well. Even towards the end, with the Diamond Mine stuff. But either way, though, he hung on. But either way, it was a good match. I thought it was a very, very solid match back and forth here. Just a overall demonstration of two great talents. Of course, Will Ospreay getting the win here and becoming the new AEW International Champion, which, again, I thought was well-deserved. Like I said, I'm a huge, big fan of Will Ospreay. I think he's going to hold that title really well. I think it's going to represent the championship well too. So, again, fantastic opening match here. Great way to kick off AEW's Double or Nothing. Up next, I want to talk quickly because they mentioned, I saw on Twitter, someone had posted that. I don't like reading spoilers too much, but I saw someone say something about how there's going to be some big things going to happen very early in the show. Well, the second thing that happened, I believe it was the second thing here, was, because after the match, Adam Cole came out. And, I was shocked to see Adam Cole. I was like, this is awesome. I'm a huge Adam Cole fan. I really love his work in NXT. I hope that he kind of picks back up and gets things back in gear here in AEW. They let him be Adam Cole. I don't think he needs the whole undisputed stuff as well, too. But either way, though, he comes out, cuts a little promo here, and goes into the spiel about the devil and holds up the mask, the devil mask and everything, and is holding that up. And then, of course, we see a video package come on. It's pretty much just going to be MJF showing off his room and stuff like that with all the stuff around his scarf and everything, pictures and such, and holds a picture up with him next to Adam Cole, and it's torn in half, and he holds it, puts it together, comes back in the ring, and boom, we hear MJF's theme. MJF had a few great returns, and this one was really good. He looked fantastic. MJF comes out to a huge pop, huge reaction. Just fantastic all around here. He's wearing the Triple H leather jacket with the one Triple H came back at MSG in 2001, I believe it was, when he came back here from his injury, and he had the leather jacket with the little vest over it. It was a callback to that. It had to be. If it wasn't, it had to be though. But either way, though, MJF looked fantastic. He looked in probably the best shape I've seen him in. He was nice and tan, of course, but probably the best shape I've seen him in. He comes out, pretends like he's gonna, be cool with Cole, and ends up giving him a low blow and knocking him out, and cuts a nice promo, and only MJF promo. The only way MJF can do it. A great promo. Tons of cursing and such. That's kind of how he always gets his way. That's one thing about him. If you went to WWE, I don't think he would have got away with all that. We're not even nowhere near anything like that. So, but yeah, he cuts the promo, and then he announces that he shows a tattoo on his leg here, and it does say basically about let's say bet on yourself. It has the AEW logo on it, and pretty much announces that he's not effing going anywhere. It cuts, says, "Hey, you can call me the Wolf of Wrestling," basically hinting or basically throwing a little callback there to the Wolf of Wall Street, referencing the Wolf of Wall Street, where he's like, "I'm not effing going anywhere." That's what he did, and MJF pretty much announces that he has re-signed with AEW or is staying with AEW, which is perfectly fine. That's perfect for him. MJF needs to be in AEW. That's the best. That's the home for him. Would I like to have seen him in WWE? Maybe down the road at some point. But either way, though, I think that MJF fits well in the WWE. Hey, to tell you how's it going? Hey, chit chat. Thought I'd come in and say hi and show some support. Thank you. I know it's late. You're not used to this. Yeah, it's 11:42 p.m. Central Time. So welcome to my world on AEW show night, pay-per-view night when it gets over with super late. So either way, though, happy to see MJF back in AEW. I think he's going to help bring some more to the company, to the show weekly. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But either way, though, it's nice to see MJF back, and a nice little call back to the Triple H 2001 return as well too. I believe it was 2001, 2002, one of those two. I can't remember, but the MSG return. Up next, we did see this one. We saw the Gangbang. They defeated the Death Triangle for the Trios Championship. It was a pretty solid match. It was okay. Again, one of those matches I think that probably could have been left off the card, maybe done on a Dynamite or a Collision or something. But I get they want to have these, these feuds and stuff, and they're building storylines. So, and there's a storyline with this as well too. The big thing in this match, of course, is that Juice Robinson returned at the end. It's only 9:43 p.m. back home. I know. That's what I'm saying is that you guys have that, it's 9:43 there, and it's 11, like I said, 11:43 here. So now you know how we feel when these things get over with super late. And it's it's early for you still, but for us it's late, and you got to think it's like 9:43 for them too, because they're in Vegas, so they probably don't think about it. Think about it in the East Coast, like where Danny's at, in New York area. It's just 12:45 there right now, so it's almost 1:00 in the morning on the East Coast. Man, I cannot imagine. That's late. I'm usually up that late anyways, but watching pay-per-views that late, and I don't even know if they're doing a press conference. If they're doing a press conference, that's even crazier. But either way, though, as I mentioned, the Gangbang defeats the Death Triangle here, and I think maybe we might be looking at Pac, whatever. Maybe even going away, maybe even stepping away from the Death Triangle. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Pac. Adrian Neville, that's what he used to be. But either way, though, huge fan of his, always have been, even back in his old days as well too. Next thing, we have a great match here. It's going to be Toni Storm one-on-one with Serena Deeb. This was a great match back and forth. Both Serena Deeb is a fantastic opponent, fantastic wrestler. So is Toni Storm. These guys just gel so well together, bond so well together. A fantastic match between these two. We did see Mariah May. She attempted to throw in the towel and it made it look like Luther tried it. Either way, though, again, great match. Of course, Toni Storm gets the win. Don't think Toni Storm is ready to lose that title yet. I don't think unfortunately, Serena isn't the right person. I'm still holding out for either Jamie Hayter or Britt Baker, DMD. I'd love to see that. I was really hoping she'd come out. I was hoping Toni would have stood in the middle of the ring, and Brett's music would have came on, or Jamie's music, and would have came out and ended it, and we could have had a new feud. Since Mercedes isn't going for that title, clearly, then I think that those are probably the two next challenge, or should be a challenger, one of those two. But I'm ready for a Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, return at some point here, and even Jamie Hayter, the two people who have been at AEW from the very beginning that I've always really enjoyed watching. So again, great, fantastic match between Toni Storm and Serena Deeb. Just technical. Serena is just a technical wizard in the ring, and just like I said, fantastic match. Up next though is another one I think that could have been probably left off the show. It's going to be OC, Orange Cassidy, taking on Trent Beretta. I know there's story to this as well too. There's story. The good thing about the show tonight is just, for every match has a story pretty much. So that's definitely a step in the right direction. But I feel like this one could have been probably left off the show. OC ends up going one-on-one with him. Orange Cassidy ends up beating Trent. At the end of the match, Trent says he's done, and then he walks away and goes back to the crowd. I'm not too sure what he meant by saying he's done, but again, is he going to tease that he's leaving for a little while, maybe come back, repackage? I don't know, because I've always felt that Trent was kind of stale. Thought he was a good wrestler in the ring. I was never a big Chuck Taylor guy myself, but I've always really liked Trent, and I was glad to see OC come back with his old original theme as well too. Thought that was really cool to see. Not that I have anything against his new one, but I really enjoy his old theme. So again, though, great match between these two, but like I said, something that I really feel could have probably been left off the show this time around. Up next was another one here. Another one I feel maybe could have been left off, but I get it. I just feel like there's too many matches on these AEW shows. Again, the whole show was pretty good. Was damn good for the most part here. But there's, like I said, there's some matches that could be left off to make it a little bit shorter. But that being said, though, we saw it was the Hook. Yeah, so it was the triple threat match here, which I thought was really weird. It's a triple threat, but it is what it is. Jericho defend the TNT title against, or not TNT, sorry, the FTW title, which is, of course, if you don't know what that is, that's Taz's old original championship that he had in ECW. He defended against Shibata, Shibata and Hook. I keep forgetting Shibata and Hook. Again, it was just a typical, those are triple threat matches. Those are always kind of hard. I know from wrestling triple threat matches, they're always difficult to do. But either way, that was a fun little match to see. I personally still think that Hook is going to benefit. There's rumors going around that Hook may be heading to WWE. And I heard that, his dad, Taz, is all behind that, just to basically go there and get some of the performance help and such, and kind of get, I think he needs it. I think Hook's fantastic in the ring. He could use some help on his promos. They're getting better, but his in-ring work is pretty good. But again, though, I think that anybody can benefit sometimes from the Performance Center. But either way, though, with this being said, though, I think Hook's fantastic. I thought this match was really good. There was a table spot I had on here that said that, let's see what I put on there. Oh, table spot from the top looked like that Shibata was getting ready to hit Hook with like a Death Valley driver, and he kind of rolled on, and then he did Chris Jericho laid on the table. He had him up for the Death Valley driver, and he kind of like rolled onto him, but the table did not break at all. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Again, a spot that looked a little dangerous. I couldn't tell if Hook maybe jarred his neck a little bit, or Shibata, or there was something in there. But either way, the table didn't break. The fans started booing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They brought out, dice in a bag. I'm just sitting here packing and packing. What time is your flight leave? I'm just sitting here listening, packing up right now. What time is your flight leave, to tell you? I can't remember what you said in the morning. Can't remember what you said, though. But yeah, they brought out dice. So instead of like Legos in a bag or thumbtacks in a bag, they had dice in the bag, which, of course, double or nothing. And those would hurt to land on. If you got powerbombed on a big bunch of dice, it definitely would indeed hurt, in my personal opinion. There was another spot where Big Bill went through the table on the outside. Oh my God, those table legs, when he fell through that thing, I think he sat up and he hit the corner of his eye or his head on the end of the table, like on the table leg itself. Those table legs were so close, man. It looked like I was gonna impale him if he would have freaking landed on the right spot, dude. If he would have landed a little bit more to the his right, dude, those table legs would have impaled him. It would have been horrible. I don't know if it would have done anything bad to him, but it would have freaking hurt like hell. 7:20 a.m. Oh man, yeah, you gotta get some sleep. That's fine though. I'm used to going to work. I'm used to going to bed at 2:00 in the morning and getting up at that time. Actually earlier than that to go to work. So if I can do it, you can do it. But either way, though, again, just another. Yeah, it looked nice. Oh, hey, what's up, Nick? What's going on, bud? How are you doing? Welcome on in. Make sure you guys go check out the Nick as well too. Here on YouTube, and both Detelia as well too. Go check both their channels out. Detelia does a lot of wrestling reviews, and she met John Cena today as well too at a Comic-Con convention type deal, Comic Palooza I think it was called, or something like that. But either way though, awesome reviewer, loves professional wrestling as well too. Nick's also a huge wrestling fan. Does a lot of, let's see, oh, it's not gonna let me, possibly having 3 channels. Oh my God, 3 channels now. Damn, dude. 3? I got 1 channel. That's enough for me right now. But yeah, Nick does a lot of talks a lot about wrestling. Then does a lot of videos on Call of Duty and wrestling recently here as well too. So yes, Comic Palooza, and thanks for the plug. Absolutely, to tell you, I appreciate your support during this whole entire Chit Chat Wrestling that we finally got up and running. I am glad to see it. So again, I appreciate you guys. Wrestling COD and Xbox. Hell yes. Wrestling COD and Xbox. All right. So moving on here. Up next, of course, and Brian Keith. I forgot Brian Keith at the end. ended up helping Jericho win the title. So we saw Brian Keith heel turn, he came out in a mask and such, and I wasn't really, I didn't know who it was. I was honestly expecting Shelton Benjamin to debut at some time, at some point in the show. I thought maybe it was going to be somewhere. I thought maybe that would have been him, but it looked a little too small. But yeah, okay, done packing. Just left the stuff I need out. Just yeah, yes, indeed. That's all you always gotta leave the stuff you need out. It's the best way to do it. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you very, very much. And of course, up next here, we have the IWGP Eliminator match where the winner gets a title match here. If Takeshita wins, we saw him against Jon Moxley. Moxley ended up winning. He hit the Seth Rollins curb stomp to the chair and hit him with the Death Rider for the finish. It was a fair match. It was okay. It was a typical Jon Moxley match. I used to be a huge Jon Moxley fan. Even I remember when he first came in as Dean Ambrose back in WWE, but he was still doing the Florida Championship Wrestling stuff. I was at a live event. It was actually a SmackDown taping, and I was there. And they could have done the Eliminator match. Yeah, she gets it. Natalia gets it. There's a lot of matches that could have been OC, Orange Cassidy versus Trent could have been left off too. Just those two matches alone would have shortened this up a little bit to wasn't so long. So I agree with you there, 100%. But yeah, I never was really a huge Jon Moxley fan, but I did like him when he first came into the WWE and stuff. I was like, oh man, this guy's he had that Brian Pillman type of like loose cannon attitude and such. And I was all hyped for that. And he did, pretty good, but then he came with the Shield and stuff. And so he had a great career. His stuff, he's just a typical brawler. He's just a brawler, and that's fine. It works out well in AEW. So either way though, it was an okay match, but like the Talia just said too, could have been left off. It could have been on Dynamite. But either way, though, we saw Jon Moxley, the IWGP champion, win that match here. Up next, they officially announced on June 30th here, Forbidden Door is going to be live. And they did announce a gauntlet match here on AEW Dynamite where the winner will also receive a AEW championship, match here. So that's awesome. So they still have a shot at the AEW championship, the winner of that. They also announced earlier in the show, and this is funny because it literally like Triple H just announced a couple days ago that, might have been yesterday morning, that the winner of the King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring, would get championship matches at SummerSlam. Well, Tony Khan, they announced that the winners of the Owen Hart tournament in July, both the women's and the men's, will get a championship match at Wembley. So again, it's cool to see. It makes the stakes that much higher. So I do like that as well too. So either way, though, we have Forbidden Door on June the 30th, and we have the winner of the gauntlet match this Wednesday on Dynamite to get the AEW championship. Up next, we had probably my favorite match of the night, barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland against Malachi Black for the TNT championship. Of course, Adam Copeland defending his title. Tony was watching King of the Ring. Yeah. Oh my God, it's funny. Tony was watching King of the Ring. He must have saw it. But either way, though, it makes the state. I mean, I like the big, humongous, gigantic title they get for winning the King of the Ring or for winning the Owen Hart tournament. But this, like I said, it makes the stakes even higher. So, but yes, the Adam Copeland match, hell of a match. Fun match. We got to see. I'm a huge Malachi Black fan. I've always been a big fan of Tommy End or Aleister Black, whatever. And I thought that he should have got the win here. I'll be honest. I really think that he should have got the win. It doesn't really necessarily need the TNT championship, so I get that. But either way, though, we saw Malachi Black come out. I saw Edge come out with the Slayer music. He had Slayer as his theme song. He had the Brood, which I thought was really cool. They had the Brood graphic. Basically, he did everything that he wanted to do in WWE that they told him no, he couldn't do. That's what they did over here. That's one thing I can say about Adam Copeland is that I'm glad that he is doing what he's wanting to do. That's one thing I love about AEW is that they have more creative freedom. They can do this kind of stuff as well too. Hang on, let me refresh this. To kind of have their own freedom as well too. And the fact that Gangrel came out with Adam Copeland was just, or came out later on. We'll get to that in a second here, but again, these are all the things that they turned down in WWE because Edge wanted Gangrel to come out with him when he wrestled as the Brood Edge in WWE, but they said no, nobody would remember him. Well, House of Black versus House of Black versus Adam Gangrel. Oh God, could you imagine that match? That'd be incredible. So we're gonna continue to get to that. I want to do a couple spots here. Again, Copeland. Let's see. What did I say? He went through a table. What did I say on here? Oh, through a table spot. When Copeland was on top of the cage, and he did I thought he was gonna do a splash, and he went off. He jumped off the top of the cage, and he did an elbow drop, and it looks sick. I'm pretty sure he might have hurt his leg or at least his hip, or something in that. He jarred something for sure. He landed bad, and he ended up hitting the elbow drop. I don't know if it looked like he was going to kind of do a double stomp as well too. The announcers made a good point though. They're like, because I was like, why didn't you just do a big splash? Why didn't you just do a splash? And the announcers, of course, Tony Schiavone is like, well, if you would have done that, then the barbed wire that was wrapped around Malachi Black, because you got to think Malachi Black was on the table, and there was barbed wire wrapped around him, and then Copeland did the elbow drop. But either way, though, it's still the elbow drop's going to hurt, right? When you land on barbed wire, it's probably no different than the splash, but the splash would have been safer than him falling literally on his feet. If you watch at the end of the match, he's walking out. You can definitely tell he was he was jarred. Until it says, by God, Adam Copeland broke Malachi Black in half, in the words of Jim Ross. By God. It looked like he landed on his feet. Yeah, he did. He landed on his feet almost, and he kind of hit him with the elbow a little bit. But again, I think it would have been better off, even with the barbed wire, I think it would have been better off with him landing on his, doing the splash and landing on his stomach. So either way, though, it was a 6 spot. Let's see what else I have on here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's lots of great spots, and there's lots of definitely barbed wire. We saw just a little bit of everything in this match, a typical cage match. But either way, there's tables and stuff, and their weapons in there. There's a barbed wire bat in there. There's also all sorts of things in this match. We did see when Edge got knocked, when Adam Copeland got knocked to the outside of the cage, which back in the day, Copeland would have won this match. But either way, though, we saw the rest of the House of Black come out. And they kind of teased turning on Malachi Black. And we saw Brody Lee and Brody, and we saw that. We saw Brody, and then we saw Buddy definitely act like they were going to turn on him. Brody King, not Brody Lee. And they end up beating up on Edge. And I thought for sure, I was like, I think Edge would be a great addition to the House of Black. How is it that Adam is way older than us? He can actually do crap. Meanwhile, we're feeling like we're 70. I know, dude. Like when he went to the top of that cage, I was like, this guy's 50-some years old, and he's up on top of that damn cage, and he's gonna. Yeah, man, that he's still going. I don't know how much more he's got left. He might as well go out. Yeah, I know he said he got less than a year or something like that. But either way, though, if he's gonna go out, might as well go out with a bang, right? That's just kind of the way to do it. But either way, though, fantastic match. If you're into the hardcore style, they told a story, of course, throughout the last few weeks and such into this, or led into this match. And again, fantastic match. Edge, of course, or Adam Copeland ended up getting the win with the help of Gangrel. Music, the lights dimmed out. Music came, or it was like a little bit like it's like no music, but it's like kind of like we heard some like sounds and stuff, and then the grunting and such. And then he came up through the ring, which is cool to see. Gangrel did, and spit the mist and the blood in Malachi's face, or it might have been Malachi, or it might have been one of the other ones. But either way, though, he came in, and dude, Gangrel looked fantastic. He was hitting those DDTs, Impaler DDTs, like crazy, and they looked fantastic. Gangrel actually looked damn good in the ring. But it was just cool to see, a great moment. And of course, Edge ended up getting the win, hitting the spear, I believe it was on Malachi, and getting the win. But either way, though, Nick says Nick versus Mike at WrestleMania 45. Yeah, right. But yeah, it was nice to see Gangrel back. And again, these are the things that they told him he could not do or he shouldn't do. No one would remember him. Now, keep in mind, I said this too on Twitter, that different fan base, right? If Gangrel would have came back in WWE, you're right, the fans probably would have known who it was, because it's a different fan base now. A lot of these newer fans, younger fans, probably know. Some of us would probably know. Obviously, some of us would know who it is clearly. But AEW it works. Those fans in AEW are the fans, are the old Attitude Era fans. They're the fans of the old days. They're the fans of NXT. The same fans are going to NXT shows when it was black and gold. They're the hardcore indie fans, but they also know their WWE history. They know the history of the sport, and they know who Gangrel is. So again, this worked out great for AEW to bring him back in. It worked out better here than it would have worked out in WWE. Even though Gangrel was a part of WWE, it worked out better here either way. So again, Edge retains the AEW TNT Championship. Up next, we have Willow Nightingale against Mercedes Monet for the TBS Championship here. I thought this was a great match. I think Mercedes. I like Mercedes, the CEO. I'm glad that she's kind of going to the heel side now because I think that she does a better job at a heel. And either way, I knew these fans were going to turn on him. I turn on her. Like I said, different type of fans. AEW is different type of fans. They weren't going to buy into the whole CEO generic, the way she talks, the way her promos are and such as well too. I just knew it was going to work over there. These fans are going to turn. They're going to cheer for Willow, of course, and that's what they did. They end up cheering for Willow, and either way, they end up working. But either way, though, Mercedes Monet is the new TBS champion. She beat Willow. The ending was a little botchy, but it's okay though. It still worked. The match itself was pretty good. I thought it was a really good match for Mercedes. A lot of people were saying that it looked like she might not be 100% healed. Yeah, I think a lot of that's probably selling, but again, I'm not too sure with that. But either way, though, it was a fun match. I think Mercedes looked good. I think Willow's great in the ring. At the end, of course, like I mentioned, Mercedes won the title. She had she powdered out. She left, and then Stokey was all mad at Willow, and Chris Statlander came in and kind of like yelled at Stokey Hathaway, and then pushed him down and basically saying not tonight, and kind of sticking up for Willow after everything she's been through. They're walking out together, and Statlander ends up doing the whole Johnny Gargano or the whole the whole Owens to Sami Zayn, where he kind of took him and like threw him back onto the ramp. She did that to Willow, so no surprise. Monet won. More about Chris. Yeah, those are two things that I called. I mean, I said that, and I think a lot of us saw that. We all knew Mercedes was going to win. Clearly, we all knew she was going to win the title. Chris Statlander, I thought was like probably going to do something. Was probably going to turn. I didn't think nobody would interrupt or interfere in this match. I thought for sure DMD or Jamie Hayter would have came out during the Tony Storm match, but I knew that yes, Mercedes would get the win on this one. So either way though, it's gonna be interesting to see what they end up doing with this here. Up next, or who's gonna be the next challenger for the TBS title now. Up next, we'll go ahead and talk about Swerve Strickland against Christian Cage for the AEW title. This was a decent match. No, it was a good match. I'm not gonna say it was a decent match. It was a good match. I'm not huge on. I like Swerve. I'm not too sure about being the champion or not, but either way, I think he's doing a good job. But I'm just not huge on it. Either way, though, I thought it was a pretty good match. There was nothing too huge, nothing too big in the match. What's the name? Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne, they all got thrown out, which was good. I saw that happen as well too, but they got thrown out. But either way, though, ended up having was that Mayweather in the front row? By the way, I can't remember. Yes, I believe it was. But either way, though, Swerve ended up retaining the title, which again is good. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. If MJF's going to end up getting that title, I'm not too sure. But either way, though, pretty solid match. I'm a big Christian Cage fan. As much as I like to see him as a champion, should he win the title in his in AEW before he leaves? I don't know. But I do like Christian as well too. But again, I like Swerve. I've always liked Swerve. I thought that he was better off with his manager as well too, who helped make him got him over anyways. But I think that Swerve is proving that he can go to another company and still get over, and he kind of proved those doubters wrong who were saying he couldn't do so in NXT and WWE. So, well, more in WWE, not so much NXT, because I think he did pretty damn good in NXT. He was a North American champion, I believe, and such. But either way, though, pretty solid match. Now, the main event, which I was surprised this was the main event, but this makes more sense, of course. The main event was the Anarchy in the Arena. These matches here are always fun. It reminds me of ECW 100%. And what I mean by that is like with the music. Okay, so first of all, since I jump too far ahead, it's the Elite, of course, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Okada against FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin. Again, it is what it is. The name says it's anarchy. It is literally anarchy in the arena. Either way, though, they come to the ring. Music is playing. It keeps going. Darby comes out. Music keeps on playing. and they're just going all out. They're going crazy. They're all over the crowd. There's 4 cameras showing, and everything too, kind of showing all the footage, everything that's going on. And again, what reminds me of so much of ECW is going to be with the music playing, like when the gangsters used to come out and like against the Eliminators or whoever it may be, the music would just keep on playing against the Dudley Boys or whoever. The music would just keep on playing through the most of the match, if not all of it sometimes. But in this case, though, I thought this was done really well. Darby's music was playing. They said turn this crap off, and they turned on the Young Bucks played their theme song, which I thought was really funny because it's definitely not something you want to fight to. But my favorite moment was when Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson grabbed the microphone and said, "Play the best theme song ever." And we heard the Final Countdown by Europe. When we heard the Final Countdown by Europe come on, I was like, this is freaking awesome. And they're fighting throughout the arena, anarchy in the arena with Europe playing. I told Daniel William Clark, who's a buddy of mine here on Twitter, I was like, imagine if they would have played Stan Bush's The Touch, which of course was the theme song to Transformers, was also the indie theme song to Jimmy Jacobs. If you guys know who Jimmy Jacobs is, he used that song in the indies. Nick probably remembers that. But yeah, that I just thought was really cool. Again, a nice little callback to that match was crazy. It definitely was. It was anarchy in the arena, exactly what it was. But I again, I was really cool. I was really happy and really excited to see just the Final Countdown. And I love how My Hero. I love how they said it's costing me a ton of money to play this on repeat on loop over and over again. I thought that was hilarious. And it probably really does cost a lot of money. I'm sure they probably bought it already, but I'm sure it probably cost a ton of money. But either way, though, that's one thing about Tony Khan. He played Slayer for Adam Copeland's theme. He's willing to buy the copyrights to these music, or to these theme songs to help them. He did it with Punk. He did it with a lot of people to help them kind of get over and such and give them their moment and kind of help with their entrances. And anyways, with that being said, this match was absolutely insane. It was, like I said, exactly what it was, anarchy. Now, the one thing I thought was kind of funny is when I saw Jack Perry come back. When he came back, when I saw him walking back through the gorilla area, through the backstage, he looked all wet. And I told myself, I was like, what the hell? Why is he all wet? I'm like, what? He like, when he got in that accident in the back that like something splashed all over him? It's going to make more sense in a second. So he's all like soaking wet looking and crap. And he walks by Tony Khan. He grabs Tony Khan. He pulls him, basically out of the gorilla position and taking him back towards the arena or into the arena. We see a table spot as well too from the top of the entrance. Can't remember which one it was there, Nick or Matt. Can't remember which one it was. And then we saw Okada hit a table spot as well too. And then they pull out. Jack Perry pulls out Tony Khan, and then all of a sudden, right before that though, we see Darby Allin come out with a flamethrower. So the flamethrower makes its return, which I think is just hilarious. And then it made sense here. Here comes Jack Perry, and Darby hits him with the flamethrower, and Jack Perry's on fire. Well, Jack Perry had whatever it is, like the camera, like in movies and such. I can't remember what it is, but it's basically allows you to pretty much be on fire, but doesn't end up hurting you. And then next thing you know, he's on fire. His legs were on fire. He had the fireproof pants on as well too, which I could definitely tell that's what those were. But he's pretty much covered in some kind of a Vaseline or something. I don't know what it was. It was something anti-inflammatory substance. Anyways, he's on fire. It wasn't very long. The Young Bucks just happened to have fire extinguishers. I don't know how they knew it was going to happen, I guess. But I know they knew. But all right, I'm going to get some sleep. All right, thanks for stopping in. I tell you, have a good night. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show. So anyways, they put him out. Awesome review, and I'll talk to you later. All right, sounds good. Again, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you very much. Make sure you guys go check her out as well too. But anyway, he's on fire, and the Bucks put him out. And yes, I thought it was really interesting. We saw, of course, all the thumbtacks with Okada has a little armband with thumbtacks on it. He hit the Rainmaker as well too. Thought that was over with. Didn't finish it. Next thing you know, they pull out Jack Perry pulls out the box that has or it might have been Okada, one of the two. Pull out the box. It has the Young Bucks pump, new shoes, the pumps in there, the kicks. And they have the thumbtacks on the bottom of that, and they put those on, and they have Darby Allin tied up, by the way, by his legs in the ring, by his feet in the ring, and they end up pulling him up, and he's just dangling in the middle of the ring, and they end up hitting him with a couple different super kicks and such as well too. Darby was upside down for so long that the fans were chanting, "Please help Darby." I think it was "Please help Darby" or something like that. I thought it was pretty funny though. But Darby's literally just hanging there upside down. But yes, all in all, a crazy match. The Elite ended up getting the win. We saw an exploding chair as well too. I think one of the Young Bucks hit. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dax Harwood with that exploding chair. Either way, though, fun match. It is what it is. People are going to hate on it. It's not. It's different. Like I said, this AEW is different. When Excalibur has said at the end, this show pretty much showed what AEW is. It really did, because AEW has always had these anarchy in the arenas, always had these crazy wild matches, these ECW type matches where it's just all pandemonium, and that's pretty much what they did with this match. It was crazy, and either way though, it was a fun match. I really enjoyed it. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. It ended the show, which definitely needed to happen in this case. A lot of people were kind of confused. They're like, why isn't Swerve and Christian in the show? Because you couldn't have followed that. First thing, one of the first things you learn in pro wrestling is it's hard to follow. So that's why they pick and choose sometimes the title matches and go at the end, because sometimes it's hard to follow. And that's why this match, I think that's why when I used to wrestle back in the day, even when it was a championship match, we always had like Mick and Chief, which you guys can see on my channel too. We have a discussion on there from this past Friday. They went last because like a Japanese death match, but you don't want to have a match follow one match that you can't definitely top. So that's why they did that, and this is exactly what they did. Plus, they wanted to have the arena to themselves so they could go all out and crazy and have everything in the middle of the ring. So there you have it, though, guys. Again, a long show, a little bit too long, but in my personal opinion, but it still ended up working out. But again, AEW could definitely cut some of these matches off the card to help save some time. I think that'd definitely be a good idea. I'm not too sure if there is a freaking press conference going on right now. I'm sure there probably is. It's still early for the most part. So at 10:13 down on the West Coast, and it is 12:13 a.m. here in Central Time Zone. So there you have it, guys. AEW's Double or Nothing 2024, 5 years of AEW Double or Nothing. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it from top to bottom. Again, some matches could have been left off, but it is what it is. So, like I say, with that being said, though, let me know what you guys think here in the comments section down below. If you're watching this live, I appreciate you for stopping in. I appreciate you for just taking a look at this. I'm going to do some of these, not every single show. I'm not going to do these after every Raw, every SmackDown, every Dynamite, every Impact, every NXT. It's just not going to happen. But here and there, I'll come in for the WWE like PLEs and for the AEW pay-per-views and maybe some Impact ones as well too. We'll have to wait and see. But I'll come in and do some live like not really like live coverage, I should say. I don't want to do a full review, but more of like a live coverage of the show and kind of discuss it with you guys. So again, I appreciate you for hanging out. Thanks for Talia. Thanks for Nick for stopping in and commenting. Anybody else who viewed this, appreciate you. If you're viewing this in the VOD, make sure you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys like this video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you turn on that bell notification here to keep it with all things that is Chitty's World, which, of course, is going to be a part. Chitty's World is basically Chit Chat Gaming, where I talk about my gaming stuff, which I've always done for 7 years, over 7 years now. And then Chit Chat Wrestling is going to be something like this, where we're going to talk pro wrestling. And I have live interviews as well, too. So, again, make sure you guys like this video if you choose to. Subscribe to the channel. And turn on that bell notification to get all things here. That is Chit Chat Wrestling and on Chitty's World. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.